Hi, it's Amy over here at Vending Works, and I'm going to be showing you common problems with Coinco validators. This applies to any of the BA or Mag Pro, Bill Pro series validators for the most part. And I'll be showing you common problems, how to fix them, or whether or not they are problems you can fix.
Okay, so this is how it's supposed to sound with a normal power up. And then the red light will come on, and that means everything tested out fine, it's working properly, it's going to accept bills. Let's try it out. Works great, shows the credit, everything's good. Now if yours powers up, makes the right noise, and then your LED back here comes on and then goes out, or if it just never comes on, that means it's being disabled by the machine. The most common reason a machine would disable the validator is there's not enough coins in the coin tubes. If all of the coin tubes are not full or halfway full or have enough coins, it will not allow the validator to accept bills, and the reason is because it thinks that it's not going to have enough money to give as change. So all your coin tubes need to be at least halfway full in order for the bill acceptor to start accepting bills. This could also happen for a number of other reasons that machine would be disabling the validator. It could be that there's a jammed can. It could be that there's a bad sensor in the coin changer. It could be a lot of other things. But if your light comes on and goes out and it powers up normally, you hear the correct noise for powering up, and your light comes on and goes out or just doesn't come on at all, then the machine is disabling the validator, and it's not a problem with the validator, it's a problem elsewhere. Now, if your validator takes money and gives the credit like this, and a credit appears, at that point, the validator's job is complete. Now, if your validator takes $1, gives a credit, and then something else happens, the machine clears the credit or returns the credit or won't let you make a selection, anything like that, that's a machine issue and not a validator issue. Once the validator communicates the credit, it resets, it's done, its job is over. If the validator starts up and makes a sound like this, the validator's bad, needs to be repaired. Okay, now if you start it up and it sounds like this, that's a bad drive motor. It's going to need to be repaired. A bad drive motor can also sound something like this. I don't know if you were able to hear it, but it sort of makes a high-pitched whistle because it's trying to run and it can't, but then the stacker goes. So let's do that again. So that's a bad drive motor, means your belts aren't turning. Now, if you start it up and you get a flash code, it's flashing. It can flash anywhere between 1 and 17 times, and each code means something different. But one of the most common reasons it flashes, it would be like 5 times, 11 times, 12 times, 13 times, etc., etc. They all mean that a sensor is blocked. Now there's a lot of sensors, so each number has a specific sensor attached to it. But generally it means that there's something stuck in there, a little piece of bill, or it's really dusty and dirty and you need to clean the sensors. Now the way that you would do that, this is lower unit, it has a little tab on the bottom. You push that up and pull it out, and oh no, that sensor is blocked, right? So you can cut power to it when you're doing this. These are 5 sensors here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and any one of them could get dirty or blocked with a dust bunny or a broken piece of bill or something like that. So I go in with a Q-tip and Windex and cleaned it up, just wipe them down, make sure everything's clear. Now each one of these sensors has a corresponding sensor up here. One of those is a sender, one of them is a receiver. So it's a little harder to see, but under here, there's a corresponding sensor for each of these. So also try and clean under there. And then once that's done, start her up again. And she's good to go. Make sure our light comes on. and we're all set. Now if everything powers up normally and your LED is on and you can't seem to find any reason why it would malfunction, and it does something like this. What that means, generally speaking, is that there's something blocking the bill from entering. A lot of times it'll be because somebody stuck in like a screwdriver or something trying to get their bill back, and they gouged up some plastic or something like that, and now the bill is hitting that and it will not draw itself in. So the way you check for that is you remove the lower unit here. Now I just taped a little piece of plastic on here so that I could cause that problem. But if you see some gouged up plastic anywhere along here, I take some sandpaper and just sand it down so that it stops gouging up. Now you want to, if you do any sanding or anything like that, you want to steer clear of all your sensors, because if you sand on any of those, you're going to ruin it. So just check for any sort of gouged plastic or just anything that could be stuck in there, stopping the bill from going all the way in. And also, like I said before, wherever anything here is has a corresponding part underneath, up under here. So there could also be plastic gouged out as well. That's a little harder to get to, but feel around for it and at least you'll know whether or not that's your problem. And again, steer clear of any sensors, or there's a little metal looking piece in here called the head. We've got to steer clear of that. If you sand that, if you gouge that, if you scratch that, you're going to take the whole thing out of commission. But you should be able to at least figure out what the issue is and then take proper precaution when trying to resolve it. Now, if your unit does something like this, and you've checked to make sure that there's nothing blocking the bill, you've checked to make sure there's no plastic, there's nothing, you've cleaned all your sensors, and you can't figure out why, and it just does something like that. Doesn't go in any further every time. Unit's bad, needs to be repaired. Similarly, if your validator starts up and the red light is on and everything seems normal, but it does something like this, every time you put in a bill, all the way in, all the way out, it's bad, needs repair.
All right, well, that's all we have for today. If you need to replace your validator, visit our website at vendingworks.com. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. We're happy to help. Thanks.